pops up, click the word "got it." It clears out of the way, and then go back to your seats. I shall mute everybody. And as a prescription of a sort of therapeutic medicine, you could say, moments during the day, especially if it's days where there's a lot of sort of the unwanted symptomatic activity in your body, in the nervous system. Something as simple as this here, just sitting. You could be resting against the back of the chair as well. That can be useful, or laying on the ground as well. But creating a stable structure and then doing nothing. Coming to a place where you take your attention and you turn it inward. That's this representation of closing the eyes. So when you close your eyes, you're disconnecting from what's going on outside of you. You're looking inward. Then the simple gesture of pay attention to your breathing. Watch as the breath comes in and out. Notice, do you tend to mouth breathe? And there are reasons why people mouth breathe that aren't great. You want to, over time, force yourself to some degree to at least inhale through the nose, and then exhaling out the mouth is fine, but you want to start to get some of those breaths going in through the nose, and eventually a great meditative breath is only nasal breath in and out. Each breath, you are intending for it to be a little bit longer, more drawn out, rather than short, rapid, puffing and puffing, haphazard breathing. You want to, over time, get long, steady, thorough breath cycles. Also, with your regards to your body, you created a stable sitting situation here. That doesn't mean you hold on to your body and try to keep it there. From here, there can be a rock back into your buttocks. Your head can roll over this way. Your shoulders, if they feel achy, you can shrug them up and then relax them down. You can, again, head, neck, spine. You can rock to one hip, rock to the other. So these kind of movements, if you were doing this practice on your own and you took 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a couple times a day, especially if it's a bad day symptomatically, and you just allowed your body the time to just process and work out some of the kinks and agitations and sort of stuck qualities. I highly recommend, again, we're experimenting with tools here. How do these tools impact you with regards to your symptoms? And what's important with these is regular practice. So in the morning with a cup of tea, doing something like this, right? So keep that in mind, that you want to just what we're doing here. Breathing, sitting, looking inward. That in and of itself is a whole practice to be played with. So let's just take 5 more breaths here. Remember those 3 main principles that we're playing with, working with. Zhongjang, or central upright. Chunwan, which means release, soften so that you can be sunken down into stability. So the reason you're not falling on the floor right now is because you're allowing your upright body to access the chair. The chair connects you down to the floor. So the floor is what keeps us up. We don't want to run away from the floor. We want to connect to the floor, plug into the floor, the earth. So that's Chun One. And then Qingling is this idea that if you do that, upright body, connected down without resistance, then what's left is Qingling, light, nimble, loose, rather than a whole bunch of held-on muscles that are fighting each other. And with Parkinson's, you can't afford that because then it really gets in the way. So upright, soft, sunken down through the earth, and then feel the sort of lightness throughout your tissue and liquid that's left. Now let's use that Qingling quality to do our joint mobilization. So don't add a bunch of tension into your body. Stay loose. Slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back. Lift your chest up, lift your chin up, and look to the sky. Stay loose as you slide your hands forward. Let your chest hollow back, your head drop. And reverse. Slide the hands back, elbows back. Look up. And reverse. Slide your hands forward till your arms straighten. Hollow the chest. Drop the head. A couple more. Loose. Easy. And you're moving each of the 24 vertebrae, your shoulder blades, arm joints are all kind of going through some of their range. Your pelvis is tipping forward and tipping back at the hip joint. One more. And then the softer you are while executing the movement means the more you're using your hydraulic system, your chi system, rather than a bunch of tension. Now, pausing back at the middle, rotation, same thing. Stay upright, but stay loose. Slide left hand forward, right hand and elbow back, and turn to the right. Gentle twist. Change sides. Go back through the middle, turn. Back through middle and turn. And turn. And so if you do feel stuck musculature and tension, it is, of course, okay to put a little bit of effort to say, get it loosened, right? So we go soft to here, and then I might add just a little effort, just to wring out some extra little dead spot. But I always return through soft, and then maybe add a little effort at the edge, and then I soften to come back. So that the end result is this sung, soft, supple, loose, pliable body. And then we return back to neutral. Hang your arms off the side and lean to the right. As you lean to your right, left wrist rising. Just right close to your body. And then let's switch sides. Lean. Other side. And back and forth a few times. Try to get to where all your body weight goes through your right butt cheek and your left foot is actually empty. Could lift perhaps. And then you change and you go through the left buttock, left side, and your right foot light. Let's do that a couple of times and feel you're changing side to side, but there's the middle. There's like the middle of the seesaw that isn't losing its integrity, even though we're loose and changing side to side. It's this middle, according to Tai Chi, that is what we're looking for in regards to feeling balanced, feeling agile. It's finding this middle pivot. Okay? Back to center. Now, shoulders, just to unpack what's up here. Shoulders go forward and up. back and down, under, forward and up. So here's effort, but the end result, we need to always finish with soft, supple, and loose. And then we do another round with some effort, making the tissue and joints move, squishing, squeezing, but then always remember melting, 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 melting. Do that 3 more times. Last one. Reverse. Back with the shoulder blades up, over, top, and down in front, under. Remember, soft on the way back, soft. We go back with a little effort. This takes even more effort to make that shape thorough and complete, but then make sure it melts back to nothing. Chingling, loose, nimble, light. Effort, cleaning out barnacles and stagnation, and then returning to loose. Up and over, but don't get stuck in the tension. Always return, melt. Now, when we melt, oftentimes people lose their zhong-zheng or central upright. So don't allow yourself to collapse. So find that balance between keeping this zhong-zheng integrity, but not holding on, right? So there's all this like yin and yang, playing with 2 concepts that seem opposite, but together make our ideal state, right? Okay, now legs, scoot a little bit back so that you're nice and stable in your chair. Load up, so take right knee up, right heel pulls in. This is compressing like a spring, and then push. And then bring it back into that compress, and then set it down. Other leg, load, push, reload, down. So we're freeing the body. That's the idea here, is we're compressing and extending, recompressing. We're freeing the range, we're cleaning out the range of motion by going to the 2 extremes. And keeping in mind that point that I'm not trying to get my leg caught in a bunch of tension. I'm trying to get it softer with every round, looser with every round, easier with every round. One more each side. And right leg, just float it out. Point foot, flex foot. Point, flex. And invert, evert, that little tilt of the foot in and out. Circles. Reverse. Switch feet. Point, flex. Invert, evert, that little small tilt. Tilt. Invert, I'm sorry, internal circle. Circle. And reverse the circle. And down. Scoot forward again to the edge of your chair if you scooted back. Step your legs a little wider than hip distance. So you have a little bit of playroom right here. Now lift the balls of your feet off the ground and your heels are still on the ground. Turn so your knees and toes point in, but note that the turn happens up here in the hips, known as the quad. The groin area should feel like it's closed or even compressed a little bit. Then lift your toes and open and feel that place that was just closed, open. And then close that space. So if you move from here, you can control all the joints of the leg without there needing to be any effort tension in the leg. So the leg can be ching-ling, loose, and yet you can go open, close, free, loose. Now we're sitting in our chair, and so we can do both our legs like this. But when we stand up, the key will be that we use one of our legs to create this feeling of support so that the other leg can move this freely and the pelvis feels free and loose, right? And so eventually we feel when we're standing similar to how we feel when we're sitting, this sort of safe, loose, mobile, nimble quality. All right, back to neutral. Forward folds, practicing here, legs don't move, pelvis, fold, and sit upright. Leaning slightly back. So what we're looking at here, a couple different things, but for our purposes now, the fact that I don't have to make any change at any one of the vertebral joints or in my shoulders, nothing has to work or do effort at all. If I just simply fold nice and easy from the pelvis, all of a sudden my whole body has changed its relationship to the space. And then I can come back up and I can lean back. And you want this to feel so easy, right? And again, you're going to come in contact with tightness in your back. You're going to maybe feel some compression in a way that, again, not on the joints, just the muscles. But over time, when you practice this easy, fluid movement, you start to find you can operate this vehicle with very little major effort. It's quite astounding, actually, when you get it. All right, we're up. Now we're going to stand up and sit down. So this is putting into application what we just did. Sliding the feet, I'll turn sideways for this. Sliding the feet a little bit back so they're more underneath you. Arms loose, right? We did our shoulder circles, so they should be able to be a little looser. You're not holding. Pelvis, we're just folding. Now, pour your body weight out of the chair, through the legs to the earth. Then push through those legs and rise all the way up. And just stand there for a second, nice and vertical. Note that any amount of tension in your shoulders is making you top heavy, right? It's making you more likely to tip over than when you relax and you allow that chun one or soft sunken stable down through your legs to the earth, and then chingling up here, light, nimble, loose. Okay? Now stick your butt back. Notice I didn't bend my knees yet. I just folded at those hips like we did when we were sitting. Let's do just that portion again. Stand back up. So legs relaxed, torso relaxed, arms relaxed, and just decide to disappear your hip crease back, and you change your relationship in space. Now you're kind of gently folded. Now stay in this fold and sink your butt, but stay in your legs until your butt finds the chair, and then just lean back and let your body weight use the chair to get to the earth. Now, before we stand up again, I just want to do this one exercise. Tap your feet. So you're picking up the right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. And let there be some impact with the floor. And what you want to feel is, again, your legs are kind of empty, right? They're empty. Now, we're going to come out of the chair. So now we have to pour through the legs. Now our legs are our plug to the earth. Push to the earth. And you can't do that up and down thing right here, right? Don't try. Because you're using your legs to connect to the earth. One more time, stick the butt back and just sing. Find the chair. Leaning back. Now your legs are free again because you're using the chair to plug into the earth. Now use your legs to plug into the earth. And stand up. Now, go to your chair and have your fingertips on that chair. We're going to tip forward into the balls of the feet. tip back to the middle, and then tip to the heels. Use the chair to keep you safe. Then go forward to the balls of the feet. You may notice in my body, I'm kind of leaning forward, right? We have more foot in front of our ankle. There's this room to sort of lean. There isn't that corresponding room behind us. So when I go back to the heels, my upper body has to kind of stay forward to keep a through line, to keep a connection to the earth. But I'm back in my heels. And then forward to the toes. Middle, heels, middle, toes. Now stay in your toes, lift your heels up. Stay in your toes, lower your heels down. Rock back to your heels, and in your heels, try to lift the toes off the ground. Now use your chair for safety, of course. Use your chair for safety. And back down, and we rock forward. Lift the heels, come back down, rock back, lift the toes a little bit. Once more each, forward, lift, down, back, lift the toes, down and back to middle. From the middle, change your body weight more to your right leg. So notice now, instead of 2 legs required to keep you upright, you make it 1. And if you can achieve that, then suddenly this leg is free, like when we were sitting, both legs were free. Now this leg is free. Test it. Lift up to the tippy toe of that shoe. And the freedom of this leg is determined by the chunwan, the rooting through this leg. Put that foot down, empty, change the weight. So now this leg is the full leg, this one is the empty. Get to the tip of the shoe. Down. We've got Zhongjung, central upright. Chunwan, down through the right leg. Qingling, that left foot is free. Put it back down. Change. So this is level 1. We're just going to the tip of the shoe, foot back down without letting your body weight go into it. That's key. Change. Tip of the shoe, foot back down, change. Get to the tip of the shoe, back down, change. Now, level 2, use your hand on your chair for safety. Get to the tip of the shoe, disconnect the foot from the floor. Let's just hold this for a second. You don't have to lift it very high, but just have the foot a little bit off the floor, floating. Floating, and commit to that one leg being your full, strong support leg. Then put that lifted foot down, empty, change. Left foot. Feel that support from the earth and the freedom that that engenders to possibly lift that right foot. Use the chair to stay upright. Now, it is common for this to cause all kinds of whoa, whoa, whoa through the body for everybody. Parkinson's, not Parkinson's, whatever. So spending time and letting the body sort of find its bearings. This is another homework practice when you're waiting for your cup of tea, your tea kettle, right? Now let's flow this one. So it's just lift, down, change. Make sure it's empty. Try to lift it just using hydraulics, not a bunch of yanking on the body. Just the same way the arm is free to move, this leg is free to move. When I've got my full leg correctly related to the earth. Change that relationship, change the leg. This one is now free. Change. Usually we forget to prioritize this, and so then we never get this. Change. Down. Change. Now, hand on chair, level 3. Bring this knee up as high as it can. Hold it there. Lengthen it all the way down. Change. Hand on chair for safety so that you can really challenge the range, the lift. All the way up. Holding. Now we flow this exercise. Leg down. Shift. Once that leg is free, it floats up. Back down. No body weight. Change. Wait. No premature yanking of the leg up. Then it's totally free. If you prematurely try to pull the leg up, then you never get to this state of differentiation. The body just freezes up because it's in danger. But when you achieve full, empty, then all of a sudden, up, down, no problem. And then you change. Wait for it to change and differentiate like two ends of a scale changing, and then it's free, free. Change. So it's this interior mechanism that we are reinvigorating, retraining. All right. Next exercise using all the same skills. Change the weight to your left leg. Put your right foot in front. So notice when I put my foot in front, I did not take a massive step. It's just comfortably right there. Now, change the weight to your right leg. Get to the tip of your left shoe. Then change your weight back to that left leg on the right heel. Now, the trick question, what's the primary direction that's most important? The primary direction of shifting forward and back. You might think it's forward and back. It's down. Meaning, as I shift forward, I'm really shifting down through the right leg. And that's what frees up the left foot. And then when I'm shifting back here, it's down. That's what frees up this right foot. That's what also keeps my zhong-zheng or central upright intact, is the fact that I'm not lurching forward and lurching back, but I'm connecting to the earth, down, and connecting to the earth, down. This becomes even more important when we go to level 2 now. So hand on chair for safety as needed, but your front foot empty, disconnected from the floor and reconnected. Then shift into that right leg, get to the tippy toe of your left foot, and like a little flamingo, just bend the knee, put the toe back down. Shift, primary direction down, that's what creates the freedom for front leg to lift without lurching your body out of position. Change the weight, primary direction down, that's what frees you up to do the little flamingo. Toe back down. Chain. Lift, lower, chain. Lift, lower, chain. From this hip. Lift, lower, chain. Level 3. So use the chair for safety. Instead of just an easy lift here, bring that knee all the way up. Set the heel softly down. Change. Primary direction is the same. It's down. And bring your left knee forward enough. And reach the foot back. But the primary direction is still down through your standing leg. That's what allows this whole movement without disturbing your balance. And then shift. Primary direction down through your left leg. That's what allows that. And then shift. Primary direction down. That's what allows both forward and up and reaching the toe back. Let's float a little bit. Shift, lift, lower, shift. It's what allows the teacup on top of your head not to spill all over the place, is because your Zhongjung is Chunwan, sunk and stable, and then you're just using Qingling to lift the leg, not a whole bunch of yanking and pulling and effort. Zhongjung, Chunwan, Qingling. Those simple ideas doesn't mean it's easy, but it's a direction for our attention to go to increase our capacity for free movement. All right, we're going to switch sides. Bring your right foot next to your left foot, change into your right, and take a little side step and get closer to your other side chair. Body weight through your right leg now. Put your left foot out in front. And again, remember, it's not a big step, just a small little step. And now we change. Remember, primary direction, down. That allows me to get to the tip of that back foot shoe. And then primary direction, down. Allows me to easily get lightly to this heel. Down. Get to the tip. Primary direction, down. You notice fear, caution. Those are all natural instincts, but they tend in the direction of not relaxing. So part of the practice, as we do round after round of this, is dissolving those sort of animalistic responses, habitual responses, polishing them out of the nervous system. Breathing, just like we were meditating earlier. Relaxing. You know you're in a safe space. You've got your supports around you. And so you can actually challenge yourself to say, how calm can I be? Especially as we can now go to level 2. Hand on chair as needed. Level 2, a little scarier. You're lifting this leg, lowering the leg, changing the weight. You have to get to this place where you challenge yourself to stay nice and calm. I lift, I lower, and shift. I lift, I lower, shift. You're playing with the edge of danger, you might say. And so any response to that danger that is tensing is not helping us in the long run. It kind of keeps us safe a little bit. But what it doesn't allow us to do is really practice this Qingling, this looseness, this freedom, this softening, yielding, which is the hallmark of Tai Chi as a form of sort of therapeutic movement, but also in its form of martial art. That's what you're actually training, is how to be soft, supple in the face of conflict, in the face of danger. Now, level 3, hand on chair, knee up. Left foot in front, change the weight. The amount you can Chun One down is the amount you can Qingling up. Reach the toe back. Change the weight back. Chun One, down through that back leg, that Qingling freedom of front. Yeah. Zhong Zheng. Your central upright going straight down to the earth. Lift that leg. Reach the toe back. Zhong Zheng down, Chun One to the earth, Qingling loose, nimble, light. Down through. Down through. One more. And left foot next to your right foot, side step. Let's make our way back to the other side, closer to this other chair. Set up our level 1 again. Put your right foot in front. Now, change the weight into the right foot. Now, stay, weight in your right foot, and just watch me for a second. So this left foot, it's empty. That's the intention. Forward, backward, forward, backward. Notice I'm not picking it up over anything for this round. I'm just letting it swing, swing. Toe, heel, toe, heel. Okay, a couple times. So what you're feeling is I'm Chung One and rooted over here, and it's Ching Ling that allows me to just step. Rather than I'm going all my body weight, right? Which is how most of us walk until we find this. So the freedom of that foot to take a step. Now put it out in front of you, the left foot, and shift. Primary direction down, get to the tippy toe of your right foot. Now we're going to just flow the exercise. So down through the right leg, left foot is free, just step it back without any weight. And then down through the left leg. Let's do it again. Down through the right leg. And once that left foot's free, you just let it pendulum swing forward and shift. So we're just taking one step forward and one step back. Shift, step, shift. Shift. Wait for it to be empty. Step it, keeping it empty. Shift. Shift back. Wait for it. Step it. Shift. Premature stepping is what many people do. They jump the gun. Change the weight. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Then it steps without even an ounce of effort. And then you change. Back. Step. Level 2. This front leg, lift, lower, shift. Now we're going to do that same sort of repetitive exercise here for a moment. So your back foot, use the chair as needed. Back foot comes up over something and touches down in front without any weight. And then reverses. Up, bend, push back, touch the toe. Up over something. Back over something. Up and over. Reverse. Up and over. Reverse. Once more up and over. Now let's flow it. Shift. Back foot, flamingo. Back to touch the floor. And then we go backwards one step. Shift. Front leg has to come up, tuck, reach. Now it's back behind us. Shift. Front leg, lift, lower, shift. Remember, primary direction down is what frees up that left foot to take that little step. And then shift. Bend the knee, return, shift back. Up, tuck, reach, shift back. Up a little, down a little, shift. Step up and over. Shift. Flamingo. Reverse. It's just training. How free is that foot? How good is your Zhong jump? Level 3. Knee up. Heel softly touch down. Change the weight. Now, sort of exaggerated. Left heel to butt. Left knee up. Foot out. Dangle it down. Float it down. Shift. And then bring that right leg forward and up, only to reach it back. Shift. Make sure you've got Zhong, Chung One, reverse, shift. Knee up, heel down, shift. Heel, knee, foot, down, shift. Knee forward and up. Back, back, up, tuck, reach, shift. One more. Never leaving the ground, basically. Switch sides. Bring your right foot back, side step, So we're always underground, we're always connected to the earth. We never pull up out of the earth and try to run across the earth because that makes us likely to fall. We stay connected and then use these abilities to move about the cabin, right? Now, left foot, empty, put it in front. Level 1. Change the weight. Now we just repeat this little moment here where the right foot is empty, forward, back, forward, back. Do not change the weight. Make a have conscious attention on the fact that this foot is remaining empty. And that's what allows it that freedom. Now step it forward, change the weight to it. This back leg empty. Change the weight back. Once your right foot is empty, it can step freely and then change. Do it again. Change, step, change. Change back, step back, change back. Premature stepping. Try to resist that urge to rush that moment. If you really slow it down, eventually you find stillness in the midst of your moving. And then the opportunity that comes after that is to be deficient in what I would say is swift. So swiftness becomes available after you slow it down and find this mechanism. Level 2. Lift, lower, shift. Now your right foot empty, up and over forward, up and over back. Repeat that. Repeat that. So let yourself get Jung Jung Chun One through the left leg. And right foot forward, leave it there. Change. Back foot, flamingo. Lift, lower, shift. Then up, tuck, reach, shift. Lift, lower, shift. Primary direction down. Primary direction down. The down allows for the freedom of the up. The down. Prioritize the down. Prioritize the down. It's very calming to prioritize the down. It's like grounding ourselves, right? Like grounding an electrical wire, right? I want it grounded. Let's go level 3. Knee down. Change. Then heel to butt, knee up, foot out, lower the leg, change. Left knee comes forward and up. Reach the toe back. Change. Up, tuck, reach. Change. Knee. Change. Prioritize the down. That's what allows the up. Prioritize the down. That frees you. Let's do one more. Change. Change. Okay. Now, make your way over to the left side so that on your screen you have more room across, or in the room, you see how I have all this runway across. I'm more over here rather than in the middle. Got my chairs on the left side, that's for safety. So you've got a runway. So get to where you have a runway, turn and face that way in your room. So as I said, if you're still standing in the middle of your space, notice that I'm telling you to do something else. Walk over to the left side and have this big runway across. Now, level 1, empty right foot, put it in front. Change. Primary direction down. Step. Change. Primary direction down. That frees you to step. Primary direction down. Primary direction down. Primary direction down. Going backwards, be extra careful. Primary direction down. Wait until your foot is empty. Step it back with no body weight. Then down through that leg. Toe goes back and just touches the floor. Down. Toe goes back. Down. Toe back. Down. Never leave the ground. Never unplug from the ground. Stay plugged in through one leg, step the other. Then plug down through that one and step the first one. Plug, step, plug, step, plug. Eventually, you can do this with efficiency. You're just letting the weight go to the earth, letting the weight go to the earth, letting the weight go to the earth, letting the weight go to the earth. And that's what allows maybe a little more, let's say, speed. Now let's do level 2. Each step is something's on the ground in front of you and you're stepping over it. You got to change the weight. Then that empty foot steps up and over. Change the weight. Empty foot steps over. Change the weight. Empty foot step. Change. Reverse. Be careful. Up, tuck, reach. Change. Front foot is empty. Up, tuck, reach. Change. Front foot empty. One more, level 2. Up and over. Up and over. Primary direction. Now, when you combine Zhongjung or central upright with Chunwan, soft, sunk, and stable to the earth, and what happens is Qingling, light, nimble, free. Okay, now turn and face once again, face forward. Make sure you are to the left of your space. So you have that runway to your right. Pour the weight through your left leg. Right foot is empty. Step it out, in, out, in. Right, so this is Chunwan. This is Qingling. Qingling. Notice how my body weight is not going to the right leg and then lurching back. My weight, my body is staying connected through this leg, and this foot is free, floating, right? Now, put that right foot out there, leave it there. Change the weight to the right leg. Change the weight to the left leg. Change to the right leg. Change to the left. And it looks to me like you guys are all doing something really good. That often isn't the case. You're all moving from your middle, which means your body upright is coming along for the ride. What a lot of times happens is people do some sort of leaning and tilting, and it's really because they haven't found this middle. But you guys are all moving from your middle really well, so that gives me great encouragement. Now, stay through your right leg, left foot free, bring it in, out, in, out, in. Remember, it stays empty. I'm not lurching and lurching. I'm keeping it as free as an arm. Now, left foot in. This one is very important. Have your feet very close together so that you can, from this middle pivot, change so that you're going through your left leg, right foot is free, and then change so now you're through your right leg, left foot is free. Change. Change. Now this is the one where people a lot of times lean and lean. So again, it forces us to find this gear. It's like a little gear inside that's rolling rolling. It's the combination of the hips plus the belly area and the lumbar spine and the leg tissue and joints. All that together creates this sort of hydraulic piston-like spring of changing while my teacup is just sitting right on top, not disturbed at all. Now, change the weight through your left leg. Right foot should be empty. Step it with no body weight, sideways. Change your body weight through that right leg, left foot now free. Bring it in to that together position. Then that little internal change, right foot is free, step it. Change, going through the right leg, left foot is free, step it. Change, go through the left leg, right foot free, step. Change. We never leave the ground. We are never not grounded. We're always grounded. There's a saying in Tai Chi, change the weight as if it's underground, as if it's happening 3 feet below your feet. That's where you're changing leg to leg. Let's go the other way, left foot out. Change underground. Wait until the foot is actually empty so it steps without disturbing your central. Upright, change, step, no disturbance. Change, step, change, step, change, step, change, step, change, step, change. So one of the things we're practicing is handing off the work. So there's this little hammock, this little chassis of support, pelvic floor, hips, back, belly, and we want to get good at changing and then changing. Let's go back the other way. Step, change, step, change. It can eventually be efficient and swift so that change and step happen almost simultaneous. Change and step happen simultaneous. Change and step. Change and step. So it's to show you that these principles don't mean we're going to walk around like we're stuck in some vat of thick molasses or something. We don't have to only walk slow, but we slow down in Tai Chi to reacquaint ourselves with these subtle mechanics. Subtle mechanics that are happening that have gotten, for most people, stuck, gooey, glued shut, frozen. Going back the other way. And that there's stillness underlying our movement. That's what we're looking for when it comes to balance. It's less of some hold on to everything so I don't fall like a tree, and more of a state of quality of tissue and nervous system and connection to the earth, right? Okay, so now make your way in between your chairs. So they're on your right and left, but you're now in the middle. Empty your right foot. Turn your right foot out, your right leg out, and let your pelvis turn a little bit to the right. So now your belly button is pointing to the right corner. Come back to neutral. Leg is neutral, hips are neutral, you're staring straight ahead. Now right foot turns in, let your pelvis turn a little that way, and now you're a little bit arranged to this left corner. Neutral, right. So you're turning, and it's not just the foot, and it's not even just the leg, it's the pelvis, and it's the spine, it's the head, everything turning, rotating a little bit to arrange to that corner, but your goal is to keep this right foot more or less empty. Back to neutral, and then turn in. Same thing, this foot is empty leg, more or less. Turn. Turn the hips, turn the shoulders a little, turn the head. So you're now able to see and relate over to this other side of the space. Now, go from this turn position here to the open position. So skip neutral. Turn open, turn, close. Turn, the pelvis turns, the spine turns, the leg turns out. Turn in. Out. In. Out. One more. In. One more. Neutral. Change leg. So now the right leg is the full. Left foot is empty. So if I just turn my foot out, maybe I would just turn my foot and nothing else changed. Or even if I just turn my leg, but nothing else changed. But I can also allow freedom of the hips and spine and shoulders to turn. So now I'm relating over here and then back to neutral. And now I'm going to relate over here. Pigeon toe that foot, turn the hips a little bit, turn your torso. So you're getting a little winding up. And then neutral, turning out, neutral, turning in. Now skipping neutral, out, in, out, in, out, in. One more, out, in. Neutral. Free up your right leg again. Now we turn right leg out. Shift your weight down through the right leg. Bring your left foot next to the right foot. Change your weight to the left leg again, freeing your right foot, and do that turn out again. Turn your body, turn and relate to the right side of your, almost 90 degrees to the right. And then shift and bring the rest of the body along for the ride. Empty the right foot. So now again, something's happening to the right of us. So we're turning our free floating chingling body safely to turn to the right. And then we're closing the body to that new orientation. And again, opening and freeing the right foot, turn, relating to the right, and bring the body along for the ride. And we're grounded the whole time. Let's go around one more time. Open to the right, change, bring the left foot to match. Open to the right, change, and bring that foot. Those of you that were in Monday or Friday's class, we were doing sort of like this little turnout. It's called play guitar. You can see me, I'm sort of doing it with my hands. I'm saying, okay, what's going on over here? And then bringing the body to match. And then turning, match. Let's go the other way. So we turn to the left. We're relating this way, and then bringing that right foot to match. We're turning and relating to what's coming to the left or from the left, and then we're bringing that right foot to match. And we're grounded the whole time. Primary direction, down, 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 down. It's almost like, it was like ice skating almost, right? When you're doing Tai Chi, you're like skating and slithering in a way, rather than how we often are sort of clunky in our movement. We're smoothing and polishing this ability to change and orient, right? Now, right foot, instead of turning out, turn that right foot in. So now you're relating to the left, and then bring your left foot back to match it. Empty your right foot again, pigeon toe, and you're relating to the left again. And then shift. Empty right foot, pigeon toe, turn, and be able to relate to some degrees to your left. And then bring that foot to match. Always grounded. Primary direction down, that's what allows you to move. Primary direction down allows you to move. Go around again. Pigeon toe. Reorient. Pigeon toe. Reorient. As you turn the right foot, you're rotating the body, you're relating to the side, and bringing it together. Left foot, pigeon toe, relating, and then reorient. Empty left foot, turning the body, reorient. Empty that left foot, that free hip and body position allows you to turn and reorient. Go around twice. So this is one, I would say, meaningful example of Tai Chi as a martial art. It's not emphasizing techniques for hurting people, hurting others like many martial arts are, but it's prioritizing absolutely efficient, superior movement quality. And that can be applied in many different ways. But it's how do we most efficiently, and it ends up being the most therapeutic way. And we'll finish with putting them together. So turning, shifting, I keep turning and pigeon toe. So now I'm really scanning the space. So I'm doing one turnout, primary direction down through that turned out leg. And then when my left foot is free, I can pigeon toe it. Again, slow, like reeling silk. Like reeling silk. Primary direction, down, down, down. After you're facing forward again, we switch. Fill the right leg, left foot is free. Left foot turn out. Change the weight, keep turning. Pigeon toe the right foot. Keep turning. Turn out the left. Turn in the right. Go around twice. Turn out. Turn in. Turn out. And after you get all the way back around facing forward, hands together, clap and rub. When we rub our hands for self-massage, we don't want to be pressing and rubbing. Actually, the opposite, as loose as can be, so that there's no defensive response through the tissues and joints. Loose. Then rub the back of one hand, palms, back of other hand, palms. Qua, that's this crease, the inguinal crease, genital area in the middle, right along that crease. So hands, that's the qua. So this is our basic mechanism that we need to have open. Qua, hip flexors, around sacrum, tailbone, up onto that lumbar. And then just clear the channels like we're doing a little squat, sitting, come around, come up the middle, past the groin to the navel, to our middle. Let's do that twice more. Qua, hip flexors, around to the sacrum. So feel these mechanisms that for many people, there's pain in these areas. There's frozen, sort of stuck up onto that lumbar, right? Up into this mechanism up here. And then clear the channels. So go down the outside of the leg, around to the inside, up the inside. Last one, qua. Hip flexors, sacrum or tailbone, lumbar spine up, and then clear through middle, and then up the outer arm, over the shoulder, turn the palm up, sweep. Up the outer, same arm, down the inner, up outer, down inner, up outer, down inner, yang channels, yin channels, yang, yin. Switch. Great job today, everybody. Final closing, wing, roll, fold, Settling, 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 settling down to your navel. Sealing the practice. Center of palm over the belly button. Other center palm over that hand. And then the Taoist bow. Grab thumb. Fold over. All right. Thank you so much. If there are questions, feel free to unmute. It's just a brief moment here.